London, 1815. The Battle of Waterloo has just ended, but the news has not yet crossed the English Channel. On the trading floor of the Royal Exchange, panic is building. Rumors say Napoleon has won. British government bonds are falling fast. Traders are dumping their holdings. Every trader, except one. A man stands near the far pillar of the exchange. He says nothing. He shows nothing. While the floor erupts around him, he begins quietly to buy. His name is Nathan Rothschild. He knows something that no one else in this building knows. Napoleon has lost. And within 48 hours, this man will hold more British government debt than anyone alive. To understand how one man could outpace an empire's own intelligence, we need to go back. Frankfurt, 1770. In the narrow alleys of the Judengasse, the Jewish ghetto, a young man named Meyer A. M. Shell Rothschild runs a modest business. He deals in rare coins and handles small currency exchanges. The ghetto is cramped, dark, suffocating. Opportunities are scarce. But Meyer A. M. Shell has two qualities that most men around him lack: patience and a vision far larger than the walls around him. He begins to cultivate a relationship with one of the wealthiest men in the region, Prince William of Hesse-Kassel, a man whose fortune is built on renting soldiers to foreign governments. That relationship will change the course of European finance. Prince William needs someone to manage his growing fortune. Someone discreet. Someone outside the traditional banking establishment. Meyer A. M. Shell becomes that person. With access to William's capital, the Rothschild operation begins to expand. Loans, bond trading, currency exchange across borders. Within a single decade, the small business in the ghetto transforms into a serious financial operation. But Meyer A. M. Shell sees something that most financiers of his era do not. In a world where wars reshape borders overnight, where treaties are signed in secret chambers, where a single battle can collapse an entire currency, money is not the ultimate advantage. Information is. And so he begins to build something far more valuable than a bank. The mechanism that made the Rothschilds the most powerful family in European finance has a name: information asymmetry. And it works like this. Imagine two traders standing side by side. Both are equally wealthy. Both trade the same government bonds. But one of them learns, 12 hours before the other, that a war has just ended. That trader buys when prices are still low. When the news finally reaches the public, prices surge. He sells and keeps the difference. The second trader never had a chance. Now imagine that advantage. Not for a single trade, not for a single event, but for every major political and military development across an entire continent for decades. That is what the Rothschilds built. Not a bank, not merely a fortune, a system designed to know first. Meyer A. M. Shell had 5 sons, and he made a decision that would define his family's power for the next century. He sent each son to a different European capital. M. Shell remained in Frankfurt. Salomon went to Vienna, Nathan to London, Karl to Naples, James to Paris. 5 brothers, 5 cities, 1 network. Each brother established a banking house. But the real advantage was never in the vaults. It was in the letters. The Rothschilds built a private courier system, faster than any government postal service in Europe. Horseback riders through the night, boats racing across the channel, even carrier pigeons for the most urgent dispatches. A diplomatic message from Paris to London took the British government 3 days to deliver. The Rothschilds received it in 1. Picture a sealed letter, stamped with wax, carried at full gallop through the darkness, arriving on Nathan's desk before the Prime Minister had even been notified. That speed was the weapon. By 1810, the Rothschild network was operating at a scale no private family had ever achieved. They financed the British war effort against Napoleon, physically moving gold across enemy lines, through active war zones, under the noses of French patrols. They arranged loans for the Austrian Empire, for the Prussian military, and for the restored French monarchy. Governments didn't merely borrow from the Rothschilds. They depended on them, and with every transaction, the intelligence network grew stronger. Each brother fed information to the others constantly. Bond prices in Vienna, troop movements near the Rhine, political negotiations in Paris, grain shortages in Naples. A single sealed dispatch could cross the continent in half the time of any official channel. The Rothschilds didn't just follow the news of Europe. They often had it before the governments themselves. And in 1815, that advantage was about to produce the most legendary trade in financial history. June 18, 1815. The fields of Waterloo, near Brussels. Napoleon's Grande Armée faces the Duke of Wellington and his allied forces. The outcome will decide the fate of Europe. If Napoleon wins, the continent plunges back into chaos. If he falls, peace returns. For the financial markets, the stakes are absolute. British government bonds, known as consols, are the foundation of the empire's economy. A French victory means their collapse. A British victory means a surge. Every trader in London is waiting. But the news is trapped on the other side of the channel. Official dispatches will take 2 to 3 days. The Rothschilds are not waiting for official dispatches. Their agent, a man named Rothworth, is already riding hard toward the Belgian coast. He carries a single, sealed letter. And inside that letter, 3 words. Rothworth crosses the English Channel through the night. By the following morning, he reaches Nathan Rothschild in London. A full day before the government's own courier arrives. What happened next has been debated by historians for 2 centuries. But the most widely documented account describes a calculated masterpiece. Nathan walks onto the floor of the Royal Exchange, and he begins to sell. The traders watch him closely. If Rothschild is selling, Napoleon must have won. Panic erupts. Bond prices collapse. Traders dump everything they hold. And then, quietly, through a network of intermediaries, Nathan reverses course. He buys everything at rock-bottom prices, while the entire market is in freefall around him. When the official confirmation finally arrives that Wellington has won, bond prices explode upward. In a single day, Nathan Rothschild had made, according to estimates, the equivalent of several $100 million in today's money. The Waterloo trade was not merely a financial victory. It was a declaration. By 1825, the Rothschild family managed the finances of most major European governments. They financed France's war reparations. They stabilized Austria's currency. They provided emergency liquidity to the Bank of England during a crisis that threatened to bring down the British financial system. They never wore crowns. They never commanded armies. But for much of the 19th century, according to historians, no major European loan could be arranged without their involvement. And every advantage they held traced back to a single principle. The same principle that had carried a sealed letter across the channel faster than any government could manage. Whoever controls the flow of information controls the market. Not through force, not through politics, through speed, through networks, through knowing before anyone else. The Rothschild Courier Network was the high-frequency trading of the 19th century. Today, financial firms spend billions of dollars to shave milliseconds off their trading speed. Fiber optic cables stretch across ocean floors. Algorithms execute thousands of trades before a human being can blink. In 2015, a trading firm was investigated for placing its servers physically closer to the New York Stock Exchange, gaining a 5-millisecond advantage over its competitors. 5 milliseconds, worth millions. Nathan Rothschild would have understood perfectly. The technology has changed. The mechanism has not. The lesson of the Rothschilds is not about one family. It's not about the 19th century. It's not even about banking. It's about a pattern as old as markets themselves. The one who knows first wins, and that pattern is not history. It is happening right now. The names change. The couriers become fiber optics. The sealed letters become encrypted data. The Ghetto of Frankfurt becomes the server rooms of Wall Street. But the mechanism never does. Whoever controls the flow of information controls the market. It was true in 1815. It is true today. This has been the financial annals, the secret history of wealth, power, and collapse. Subscribe to understand the past, and you might just predict the future.